everyone, to episode 30 of the Burress Law, Life, and Friends podcast. Today, I have a very special guest, the executive director of Hugs Café, a nonprofit, Lauren Smith. Lauren, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm so good, Jason. How are you?
I'm doing great. I don't know about you, but I feel like it's almost like deja vu that we're sitting here, we're doing this podcast. I feel like we've almost been here before.
It's funny you say that. It's maybe our love has just lived in lifetimes and lifetimes ago. But also maybe because someone may or may not have plugged in an HDMI cable. I'm going to go with the lifetimes ago bit, but who's to say?
Yeah. I just almost for sure feel like I've been here before.
The almost for sure's, yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about your experience with Hugs. How did you come to be a part of it, and sort of your direction up the chain of command once you came on board?
Sure. So my background was business development. I was fortunate to go to business school, and after that, I just started to help surgeons and other people in the medical field advance themselves professionally, and then they started to think about their philanthropy. Turned that into 10 years, and while that was great, I was maybe unfulfilled in my career, and I walked into a place called Hugs Café, maybe or maybe not by chance, and I fell in love with the fact that everyone loved their job there. Everyone was doing something that they thought was meaningful to them, and they were happy. And to be honest, that was something that I didn't realize could happen at work. I was doing things professionally that people would think would make me successful, but I wasn't fulfilled. I didn't have purpose. And when I saw purpose existing at every level in a restaurant, I knew that that's something I immediately wanted to be a part of. I told my parents that I wanted to quit my job and figure out why I wanted to be there so much. So I started volunteering. I think I volunteered for a day or two, depending on when you ask our volunteer coordinator. She'll say I volunteered for 5 seconds. But I got curious about how the organization ran. What were its revenue streams? What were its plans for growth? How many people worked there? What were they paid? Everyone loved being there, but I was curious about how it functioned and how it was going to do more. Because for someone that had no connection to the disability community, that wasn't even aware that 80% of adults with disabilities are unemployed, my mind was changed and my heart was changed. And would I have been someone that would have sought out a state school or a special place of education for adults with disabilities? Probably not. But I had fallen in love now with not only a population that I didn't even know needed to be supported, but I had found friends and neighbors that make up the coolest workforce I had never known. So I quit my job and had spent now 7 years being a part of the amazing vision of Ruth and Chris Thompson. I sat down with Ruth about a week after I volunteered and asked her what her plans were, and we just started to dream together. And she was fortunate to have Chris's support, and I was fortunate to come alongside their journey, and I became our first administrative employee and our first executive director, and it's been a great ride.
And just to be clear, your first visit was just as a customer.
Yes.
Wow.
Not even knowing what Hugs Café was, and not knowing what role it would play in my life, in the lives of my whole family, volunteers, and attends our gala. And it's been the most beautiful gift to be a part of someone else's story. So the gift that I was given, I just try to pay it forward.
And you mentioned Ruth, and she's the founder of Hugs.
Yeah.
So what was the vision of her starting Hugs to begin with?
Yeah. So Ruth is our founder, and Chris, her husband, is definitely the co-founder and supporter of this dream. Honestly, Ruth was doing cooking classes at a local grocery store, and some of them were for adults with disabilities, but they weren't really having a place in the world to use those gifts. And Ruth, as she was about 2 years away from retiring, had a dream 2 nights in a row of a restaurant that trained and employed the adults that she had with disabilities that were in her cooking classes. And her husband said, we've got to do it. And so they had never been a part of a nonprofit other than their church. They had never run a restaurant before, but they started to talk to their community members. And they were very fortunate to have the support of Kim and Martin Sanchez, who had a building in downtown McKinney and said, I know you've got $8,000, but you have a dream and we want to support that. And the community came alongside once we had a building. 6 months later and $150,000 later, Hugs was open October 13th of 2015. We'll be celebrating 9 years this year.
Very impressive. And I remember back in the day, I think Ruth would come to Market Street and teach cooking classes. Is that right?
Yep.
Tell me about that. What was she doing there?
Yeah, she was the cooking school manager. Okay. So her job there was to bring in outside chefs that were wanting to teach a class to local individuals that were wanting to open up their culinary repertoire. But at the same time, her passion had been working with adults with disabilities from her previous work in Colorado at a respite center for families with disabilities. And so she kind of took a hybrid concept there of the culinary school at Market Street and her passion. And then with the evolution of that dream and the passion of the community, Hugs was born.
And Market Street has always been an organization that employs adults with disabilities. I've always noticed that about them. Have you?
Yes.
So what's maybe the mission statement or goal of Hugs Café?
Sure. So our mission statement you'll see on our wall is to enhance the lives of adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities through our training and employment. Off the page, though, we just provide purpose for people. If you're a customer coming in, you will find you are welcome and accepted with us. If you are a volunteer, we feel you will get that same experience. If you are an employee, absolutely you will get that Hugs experience. Hugs stands for Hope, Understanding, Grace, and Success. So while we definitely are a 501c3 with a mission statement and bylaws and all that stuff, we are so much more than what's on the page. And we invite you to come into our cafe or our greenhouse and see why.
What sort of skills and personal development have you seen your employees gain?
Sure. Well, I think for one, when someone comes to you and asks about your skills and interests, when you have perceived the world as defining you based on your disability, that immediately becomes empowering, right? We joked a little bit earlier about this. I do not play sports, right? So if someone were to assess my place in the world based on my basketball skills, I don't know that I would get very far, right? Certainly not even a local intramural league. But we really do try to focus on a person's skills and interests and their abilities. And when we do that, we find that we can create space for more individuals than what we ever thought possible. So our cafe carves jobs to meet a person, and we don't define people based on the things that are maybe challenging to them. And so our cafe now, which is open for breakfast and lunch, we've expanded our operation. We're open Tuesday through Sunday, and you will also find us at the Rook on Mondays, so you now get Hugs 7 days a week. But really, it's just so that we can create that space to recognize that everyone has purpose. And while you may have a particular diagnosis, that doesn't define who you are. And we will be a place where you can be accepted and appreciated. And that confidence is the first piece of that. So seeing confidence blossom, I would say, is really the biggest thing. Because when someone believes in you, you start to do things. Great success story that we have from one of our first employees that started working with us, Jerry. He's a server at our cafe now, but that started because when he first came in to work with us, he was working in the dish area. The perception of what we knew about his ability was that he was going to be able to do dishes. And then a ticket came out of the kitchen printer and no one was there. So Jerry had heard others and been a part of trainings, but not only did he pull the ticket, he read what was on the ticket and grabbed the plate, brought it out to the customer to their correct table number, and put the ticket on the little ticket stamper, and went on about his day. And that was something that he started to do with repetition. Well, his mom, coming to see how he was doing with his shifts, burst into tears getting that report back because she did not know that Jerry could read. And
That's
so
incredible.
Yeah. It's go for it.
I'm blown away by that.
Yeah. You never know what's possible. And we give people the space to believe in themselves and be the majority. At Hugs, 80% of a shift is representative of those with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So we talk about 80% of adults with disabilities are unemployed. Well, at Hugs, 80% of adults with disabilities are empowered. So it's good to flip the script.
And I also like how you do it because there's enough, I don't know if you call it supervision, but I would just call it support, that I don't think the employees would feel overwhelmed. I don't think that they would feel like they're at risk. I mean, they've got support from your team. And so when I watch them, I'm blown away by how it's structured. Can you talk about that?
Sure. So first and foremost, our staff across the board is an incredible team. So we have supervisors who generally represent the neurotypical community, and those individuals are part of our paid staff that are there to be compassionate leaders and mentors for our neurodiverse team, those that have intellectual and developmental disabilities. So our staff that lead and are mentors to some of our other employees, they are angels for the work that they do and as they serve as compassionate leaders. Second shout out goes to our volunteers. We are community-based. So when you come into a Hugs Café, you are seeing, again, our incredible supervision from our staff. You're also seeing our great hourly Hugs Café associates that represent our mission-based employment. But our volunteers work alongside our mission-based employees to empower them and make sure that they have what they need to be supported. Some individuals have that person to support them sporadically as they become more independent. Some of those job coaches will support a particular station with more than one employee. So it's really a diverse mix of talent supporting the whole team.
Wow. So Hugs Cafe is in downtown McKinney. It's been there for 9 years.
Yep, 9 years.
Hugs at the Rook. So just to explain, not everybody may have seen it yet. We'll answer some questions. But it is inside the brand new Burress Injury Law headquarters, 6952 Mediterranean Drive in Adriatica. So it's on the west side of Adriatica, bordering Stonebridge Drive. Inside the Burress Injury Law headquarters, we have a members club called The Rook. And on Mondays, each Monday from 11 to 2, Hugs serves lunch at The Rook. Now, I'm not sure. Answer this question. Do you have to be a member of The Rook to come to Hugs and eat lunch on Mondays?
Absolutely not.
No, you do not have to be a member.
No.
It's open to the public.
Yeah. You guys have been so generous to allow Hugs to come into your space and bring the community in at the same time. So the gorgeous ambiance is open to anyone and everyone, 11 to 2 on Mondays. You can go to Hugs social media. You'll see us posting about it each Monday. You can even find the Rook page as well. And you'll see all of the amazing events that you guys have going on, information about membership, and of course, Hugs at the Rook.
That's right. And Lauren, I'm telling you, I would love to take credit for the Hugs at the Rook idea. I would be lying if I did. It was my beautiful wife who came up with the Hugs at the Rook idea. She did a magnificent job, and this is really like, it just tugs at her heartstrings. She has two twin brothers. One has Down syndrome and is very autistic. And so this is something that it's been close to her for a long time. She's volunteered at Main Gate and many other things. So other than coming up with a fantastic playlist, if you come to Hugs at the Rook, you will get the JKB playlist experience. Yep. It is unbeatable, but the idea came from my lovely wife. I know you guys have a great relationship.
Yes. Christina and you both come experience both of the Burress passions, whether it's bringing hugs to the Rook or awesome music to the Rook. We are grateful for both of your support. Yes, very much so.
So the partnership between Hugs and the Rook, what does it mean though? Like, how many employees are being able to apply the skills that they've learned through the training program?
Sure. So Hugs at the Rook was an expansion for us because we are open Tuesday through Sunday now. But we wanted to be able to expand our opportunities and now have Hugs 7 days a week. We were able to hire 8 new staff members to serve that growth. So it's been a great addition to bring on 8 new employees and see them grow Some of them actually live very close to here, so it's a great way for them to engage in their community and really have pride in what they do and meet so many great neighbors. So it's been a great start to our continued expansion of the Hugs mission in McKinney and beyond.
And, I love that they're not alone. They're not put out on an island just to hope that the experience goes well. Number one, they've got terrific training. But number two, I feel like these employees have a lot of support. Can you talk about that?
Sure. The Rook concept, as well as our Café and our other programs, all embrace a model where we have supervision in place. Most of that is representative of the neurotypical community. So we have individuals as full-time staff members that are compassionate leaders and thoughtful mentors engaging with our hourly associates to help build a really great business experience training program, whatever the program may be. So it's been really great to bring people into that expansion and see the mission continue to blossom.
Now, so other than Hugs downtown and now Hugs at the Rook every Monday from 11 to 2, what other things is Hugs doing to help the community, the adults with disabilities community?
Sure. So we have 4 programs here that currently serve North Texas. So we have our Café downtown and Hugs at the Rook. We also have Hugs Greenhouse. It's our second social enterprise. We grow flowers and bedding plants. We have Bill Crump, our wonderful general manager there. He is from Crump's Nurseries that has been longstanding in McKinney. When that family business kind of sunset, he came out of retirement to operate our greenhouse and bring all of their skills and secret sauce for native plants into a new program. So Hugs Greenhouse was born in 2017, and when we continue to operate just north of the Trinity Falls development, we are open for the season right now. So it's been a great another social enterprise and way to just remind people that we can carve jobs in many industries, even though culinary and hospitality is our forte. So
wonderful. Now, Hugs is here in Collin County. Are there any opportunities or thoughts about expanding into other areas?
Sure. Well, we have 2 other programs, one of which is actually a big part of our expansion. We have Hugs Home Cooking, that is a social program for others that are trying to dip their toe into the culinary space, or maybe they work somewhere and they're wanting to just try recipes with friends. It's a great program. But what happened during COVID was the expansion of Hugs Training Academy. We weren't losing employees at our Café, and the Texas Restaurant Association took notice of that. And what they allowed us to do was repurpose some of their curriculum and materials, as well as build them and build our own as well. And so we were able to build a 12-week culinary training program that we not only teach ourselves, but we currently also teach at Dallas College. And we now license to other nonprofits and other entities that want to offer our culinary know-how. So we currently serve Colorado, Nevada, Mississippi, and Texas.
Very nice.
Yeah.
How do you think that our partnership, things like our partnership, Hugs at the Rook, can inspire other businesses to be a part of what you guys are doing?
Sure. Well, I would love to believe that every business has a gorgeous place that could serve as a dining space where we could hire 8 new employees and they would just roll out the red carpet for us. Not everyone has that opportunity of generosity. But to the extent that everyone has their place, we like to carve jobs to meet a person's ability and interest. So sometimes we can go through your current job descriptions and help you figure out what it would mean to hire someone with a disability directly from our training program. 50% of what we teach is soft skills. So just what it means to show up to work on time in a clean uniform and make eye contact and communicate if you're going to be out sick. I think a lot of people would agree if their employees did those simple things that a lot of the other stuff is manageable. So, we look for partnership in that way directly through employment, but also you can come volunteer with us. Whether you want to roll up your sleeves and make pies, serve as someone that performs mock interviews in our training program, or maybe someone that volunteers at a special event. I don't know if you're interested in waving in the Christmas parade or what have you, but there's definitely awesome ways to be a neighbor and community member. Or if you're just hungry, we have catering as well.
That's a great answer. And, you and I have talked offline a little bit, and I can't wait to talk more. But, Hugs at the Rook, it's a great thing. And the Rook is just a little small part of this headquarters. But, our main engine, of course, is the law firm. And I just feel like there is a spot for at least one member of Hugs. I think about all the things that our law firm employees do and all the things that they can't do. And don't you think that there may be a Hugs trained employee who might be perfect to help us in the law firm, whether it's making coffee or whether it's cleaning desk or any number, if they're being a runner inside. I can really think about
I love it.
Many things that we could do. How about you?
I love that idea. I think you get credit as this being your idea. So Christina may have had Hugs at the Rook. You may have Hugs at Burress Law. So love it. Yes, I think you're absolutely right. I imagine someone maybe from your reception team coming in with fresh cookies to start every meeting and every relationship that you have, for you to know and your customers to know and everyone that's on the team to know that acceptance and compassion can exist at every level, and so can opportunity. So.
That's right. And, in addition to that, and we joke about credit and so forth, but it's a total joke. But really, I look at it as, hey, I really think there are tasks that could be done. We could have a helper. But I think the other thing is, I think if you utilize it the right way, I think it's a culture builder for any organization that cares about culture. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. I have found that individuals that have had to walk through life, maybe feeling a little misunderstood, maybe feeling like they don't know how to navigate the world, maybe feeling like people wouldn't accept them for who they are, have a way of being gracious and present and thoughtful to every single person in their path that is just different. It is a quality that is unique. It is a quality that makes people better. I have found that 80% of our staff really have that quality because there is a piece of them that has felt on the outside and now they're home. And the fact that I just get to live in that home for the hours that I do is such a gift.
Now, I know that we just sort of finished up the North Texas Giving Day. I don't know if I've said the phrase right. What is it called?
North Texas Giving Day.
Okay.
You got it.
Right. How did you guys do? Did you participate in that, I'm assuming?
Yes, we did participate. We are very fortunate to have the support of our community. We did reach our goal this year of over $100,000 raised.
Wow.
I know.
That's awesome.
But we've got big things going on. So when I say that Hugs is looking at how we can take our mission into every city and state that would like to put a Hugs there, we're not joking. Mm-hmm. So while we love the support of our community, we also know that the opportunity is there to grow Hugs and do more with our work. So the job is not done. McKinney is a great place. North Texas Giving Day is much larger than McKinney, but McKinney especially is very strong in its philanthropy, business and community, and people show up for one another. I love that. Shout out to you and Christina again for the work that you do, not only with Hugs, but in the community overall. I personally love that you have taken another passion of yours, pickleball, and brought it into some community fun. Shout out to the Burress Family Picnic, yes?
Yeah. The Burress Community Foundation is, in conjunction with Burress Injury Law, we're putting on our 13th annual charity picnic. This year benefiting our foundation, specifically our scholarships, and also the Love Life Foundation, charity founded by Mayor George Fuller and, of course, his wife, May Lee.
Yeah.
There's a pickleball tournament. Not only is there a pickleball tournament, but we've got two of the top maybe 35 players in the world who are going to show up. Apparently, they want a little something.
Well, talking about me and Jason, you may feel that I'm one of the worst 35 in Texas. If there's a rank for the worst 35, that's me. But some other people showing me up will be there, I'm sure.
Look, I'm telling those top players in the world, step across that line if you want some, because I'm looking to beat a pro this Saturday, October 5th, from 2:30 to 6:30. We've got a pickleball tournament. We got 2 brackets. We have adult, so 2 adults in a bracket, or you can do an adult and a child, I think 13 and under. You can be in that bracket as well. And we're going to have a pickleball tournament, and it's going to be so much fun. And as we have done this podcast, I feel like there's been a little anxiety, a little nervousness from your side. Does it have anything to do with this pickleball tournament, of which you have registered?
It has everything to do with the fact that I have no sports skills whatsoever, but I will sign up for things like this and good causes for sure. So if you ever want to see me do something ridiculous, just put a great cause behind it and here we go. Mm-hmm. So yes, I will be seeing if maybe someone confuses me for actually playing pickleball instead of being the fake pickleballer that I will be on Saturday.
I tell you, for me, this family picnic that we've put on, it's always great. Yeah. And for me, the opportunity to be on a team with my son who's 12, that to me, that means everything. Win, lose, or draw, I don't care. I just like to be with him and compete with him. It's so much fun. We've gotten to play a few times against other dads and sons, or even dads and daughters. It's so much fun. But we've got bounce houses, we've got face painting, we've got gaga pits for the older kids. They love gaga ball, by the way. They love gaga ball. We've got snow cones and food and little drinky drink. We've got all kinds of good stuff. I think it's going to be great.
I love it.
2:30 to 6:30, right across the street from our headquarters at the Stonebridge Ranch tennis courts. So I think it'll be a good time. So last thing, is there, I know we just talked about Giving Day, but is there like a national disability week, or even a local disability week, or a month that you guys participate in? And what does that look like?
Sure. Well, I love it that you are thinking about all the ways that we are trying to bring awareness. Yes, October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, or NDEAM. So we like to take the entire month of October and recognize the fact that people with disabilities do struggle with employment, and that it is something that we can do as individuals to ask ourselves, how does our company or place of work make accommodations for those that are diversely talented? And if we don't know, let's start asking those questions. And if you don't know how, give us a call. We'd love to be a part.
And if somebody's watching this podcast and they say, I wasn't overly familiar with HUGS, but now I am, and they read up, how can they help further the HUGS mission?
Sure. I'm excited to say there are so many ways to get involved with HUGS. You can go to our website, hugscafe.org, to learn more, fill out a volunteer application, follow us on social media, of course, make a donation, and or you can find us in the community as a cafe or greenhouse customer. So be a customer, be a volunteer, be a friend to someone with a disability. Check us out, our website and social media.
It has been a pleasure to have you, Lauren. Hope you come back, and I hope you come back after Saturday. Because you may have to face the Burresses.
You hope I come back to film another podcast episode, though. Let's just be clear about that. We're not going to be doing Treja Vu. That's what it is, Treja Vu. If we do this again, it is Treja Vu.
And on that note, thank you for paying attention and watching or listening. We're on all the major channels, Spotify, Apple, you name it. But anyway, thanks for paying attention and watching what we're doing on the Burress Law, Life, and Friends podcast. We'll see you next time.
Bye.